has been a long overdue requested video that I have taken way too long to sit down and finally do. But instead of just sitting here and talking about it, why not? Let's just go ahead and organize my freaking drawers while we talk about my whole breast reduction story. This is something that I was thinking about for a long time before I decided to finally do it. I was even rejected the first time that I went in to try and get it because I was too young, and they said that I was still growing and it just wasn't a valid option for me. At that point, I should have probably heeded their advice for real and really thought about why I was getting the breast reduction and everything that really came along with it. If you do have any questions or if I leave anything out, please just go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know what you want to know. I'm here to help out, and hopefully you learn a thing or two from me before you go into this really large, huge experience that you probably want to really think about in depth before you go in. All right, let's just get into it. We're gonna be using these really cool drawer organizers that I found at IKEA. They were on an end cap. It was super dope, and I already did my boyfriend's side of the drawers, so we're just gonna go ahead and do my side of the drawers. So to preface, I did always kind of just have large boobs since the moment I essentially started puberty. At least it feels like that. I've always, at least in comparison to my peers, had a larger chest. And at the time, that was not the trend. You did not want to have a large chest. You wanted to be small, you wanted to be petite, you wanted to be skinny. Like, that was the vibe. This is early 2000s, you know, mid 2000s. That's just kind of how it was. Going in, like, I already had issues with my chest. I didn't really experience back pain. That wasn't really an issue for me, as I know it is a very common issue for a lot of other people. When I first wanted to get my breast reduction, I wanted to say I was 17, I was probably 16 or 17, and I was probably a triple D at this point, and the doctor just said that, nah girl, you still growing. You still growing, so we ain't even going, you know, put you under no knife. That is just not the call. You need to wait till you're older, you need to wait till your breasts are done developing, and then we can have a conversation. For me, that's all I need to hear. Although I really should have taken the time to heed his advice. And just, I don't know, even though I was done growing when it was time for me to get it, it just wasn't the right call. Really cool. They have these zippers on the bottom. Dope stuff. Just go right in. I'm gonna probably put t-shirts or something in here. Or shorts, who knows. So when I went in again, it was 2016. So how old was I? I don't know, I'll put it on the screen. I can't do the math right now. But before the surgery, I did end up losing some weight. This is kind of when, you know, I was still going through my yo-yo dieting thing. I hadn't really figured everything out. I lost, I wanna say like 20 pounds. When I ended up going in to get my surgery, I wanna say I was 165. I believe I was 165 when I went in. And when I came out, I believe I was 158, something like that. They did say that I was a good candidate for the breast reduction, and because a breast reduction usually has something to do with breast pain or like breast pain, back pain, it's not just cosmetic essentially, right? So insurance can cover a breast reduction as long as it is not a cosmetic surgery. Like, as long as you're not doing it for cosmetic reasons, you actually have a valid issue or something going on that is hindering your life with your chest. Naturally, insurance covered. I said I was experiencing back pain. It wasn't really anything crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't really experience back pain. I experience shoulder pain, shoulder grooves. That is also another valid reason to get a breast reduction. So in order for the insurance to cover, I went in, the doctor took some photos of my chest. This man is like checking out my boobs and just like looking at my chest, and it's just like a really weird situation. But I don't know, whatever, I got over it. I knew it just had everything to do with just like a medical, this was all medical. There's nothing sexual going on here. So I just, you know, got that out of my head real quick, and they took pictures of my chest. They sent them to the insurance, and the insurance approved it. Now, with that in mind, the insurance, in order for them to approve, you do have to be a certain BMI, at least for my insurance you did, and I did qualify. So, after that, I scheduled the procedure for October 2016, and I ended up seeing the doctor earlier that year, and the insurance didn't take too long to approve. I wanna say it took about a week, nothing crazy. That's when we set it up for October 2016. At the time I was in college, and yeah, Okay, so finally my date comes for me to get the breast reduction, right? And I go in, obviously I'm very nervous. This is a very nerve-wracking experience for me. I'm freaking the freak out. I've never had any procedure or surgery or anything like that done, so I was very freaking nervous. He came in, he marked me up with his marker, I guess where he was gonna put all his incisions and stuff. The anesthesiologist came in. The anesthesiologist did say that a small percentage of people do get sick from anesthesia. So I expected to be fine. And this was my first time dealing with anesthesia like this. So I went in thinking, all right, great. He said small percentage. Usually small percentage means I'm not included. I come out of surgery and what happens? I'm vomiting all over the place. I'm just throwing up. As soon as I wake up and I'm lucid enough to know that I'm awake and conscious, I'm throwing up, all right? Just boom. So I just was just like, dang, dude, that's kind of messed up. Like, I really did not expect to be feeling sick after this anesthesia, but it was okay, whatever. I end up going home, I want to say the next day or that day. Honestly, I can't even lie, I can't remember. I was so loopy and weird. And at this point, my pseudo mom, because she was my dad's girlfriend, my dad's ex-girlfriend, but like she essentially like had a really huge impact on my life and like growing up and stuff like that. Anyway, she ends up picking me up. I stay at her place for a day and then I end up going home. At this point, the pain is extremely, like, it is there. I feel just like this pressure, just on my chest. It's very painful. Even though I have meds, like, it's just something that I can feel, like, it's just present. I can just feel it. It's something I've never felt before, obviously, right? My movement is also extremely limited. I'm not able to like move my hands like higher than this, like even barely. Like I could barely, like if it had anything to do with like lifting this area, it just was not like, it was so bad. It was so bad. They ended up giving me hydrocodone for the pain. And I made a very large mistake taking the hydrocodone, okay? A natural side effect of narcotics is that you get constipated. Really slowing things down in the body, right? And it's just not right. The constipation from the narcotics was so freaking severe. I will never in my entire life forget that pain. I could not pass a bowel movement for the life of me. I was taking everything I freaking could to go bathroom. Smooth move tea, cold lace, laxatives. It didn't matter. I was trying to take anything to get my stool to pass and it just was not. It was so painful. My stomach hurt so bad just because I was taking my narcotics on schedule and I wasn't. You're supposed to take a laxative with it, something to keep you, regular. Drinking water, obviously, keeping things going in your body. But I was not prepared, guys. I was not prepared. It was all the way back in 2016. I will never, ever forget that pain. Moving on. I couldn't really do anything for myself, I want to say the first couple days, because I couldn't move my arms over my head. Even when I returned to work weeks later, it was still very difficult for me to get my arms over my head. That took a very long time to heal. And they also ended up doing dissolvable stitches. They did do a T incision. As you know, I'll put a graphic here and hopefully it doesn't demonetize anything. This is all medical, right? I did hear though that if you are melanin, if you do have melanin in your skin, that the dissolvable stitches probably aren't the best for you. The dissolvable stitches just don't work very well for our skin because I do have scarring that's very obvious still. And the way it did heal was kind of uneven and I don't have any feelings about my scarring or anything like that, like zero. So my sister did take care of me for majority of my healing process. And the next day I did end up going out to get my drains out and I couldn't even stomach looking at the incisions, looking at my chest. That was just a no for me. I couldn't even look, guys, like at all. So during the surgery, the doctor did end up finding a mass in my breast. And obviously this was something that they didn't see prior. I thought it was quite interesting that there was no pre-screening before my breast reduction. Like they didn't look inside my breast to see what was there. We just kind of went along with the surgery. And then when he went in, he saw that I had a mass. So he ended up taking more than he had anticipated out of my breast. But even then, I still ended at a 36D. 36D was my cup. after the surgery. And obviously when you first get that surgery, your chest is like up here, like it's sitting up here. That mess tight. Like you just got that work done. Like, you know what I mean? Like they ended up naturally falling down over time. There obviously was a lot of swelling and stuff like that. So yeah, the mass was benign. There was nothing too crazy. Like it wasn't this huge deal, but it still scared me nonetheless. It still was just like, oh shoot, there was something in there that I wasn't aware of. Thing is, right, is I really thought that this breast reduction would be the thing that I needed to keep the weight off. Like I thought this surgery was so huge, such a monumental impact on my life, right? That I thought that would be enough to keep the weight off. And it just wasn't. It just wasn't, guys. Like, and this was really like the first time I realized straight up, like my habits were just messed up. How I ate food, how my relationship with food, everything about food was just bad, just incorrect. The way I viewed food was incorrect. Everything about it was incorrect because I was using a huge surgery, something that like I went under the knife and had an expectation that everything would fix itself after. And that just isn't true. It just wasn't true. And nothing will be enough to keep the weight off. If you struggle with weight, at least it was me, I struggle with weight. And when I gain weight, it goes straight to my boobs. Obviously, I kind of have an even fat distribution like across my body when I do gain weight. But I do get it a lot in my boobs, my thighs, and my butt. My boobs come first. If I'm gonna gain weight, it's gonna go to my chest first. And I knew gradually, I was watching my breasts start to hang a bit lower. I was constantly gaining weight, losing weight, going way back and forth with my weight. And naturally, your body reacts. And like my skin, I do have loose skin on my breasts. Like if I just did the right thing right after my surgery, or if I did the right thing before my surgery, went into this surgery with the right mindset, with a healthy body and a healthy mindset, and basically everything that I know now, then they wouldn't have grew back. I come out as a 36D, and then 2 years later, I'm back in a 38F. Even bigger probably. It just didn't make any sense to me when I really thought this was what I needed to keep it off, and it just wasn't. And it's just like, I don't know, like, oof, I want to start tearing up right now because it just was so messed up. It was so messed up. Just kind of just seeing gradually my boobs, the loose skin, gravity being affected. When I just, people spend so much money, and I did something so big to change my body and change the outlook of my body as well, right? And it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough, and that is just insane to me. That is just insane because our habits are that strong. Who we are as people, like, is that relevant? Is that strong? Is that just like pertinent? It's just, I don't know, man. I'm trying to keep it together, okay? Without a bra on, and my boobs sagged below this, and I was like, oh God, it's time to kick it into overdrive and really lose some weight, because clearly this is just like, this is not good. Oh no, no, no. And it's just like, that, I don't even know, dude. It's just like the mental games were insane, naturally, just like with weight loss is, but I didn't even know that I was struggling a weight loss battle until I realized I was struggling a weight loss battle. Like, it was so trashed. So in January of 2020, I ended up getting a random wound on my breast. I woke up one morning and my boyfriend saw it. He was like, what's that? And it just, at the time, it was just like a little scab or something. It wasn't on my incision line. It was near it, but it wasn't on it. And then it just like grew larger and larger and larger. This open wound on the bottom underneath my boob. It was really scary. I tried to take care of it by putting bandages and stuff like that, but it wasn't like effective, and I was really struggling with this random wound that came out of nowhere 4 years after my surgery. And I didn't understand it, and I know it was likely due to the stretching of my skin, the stretching of my breast, and it was just too much. And I know this, honestly, this is scary, right? In your head, you're probably just like, ooh, right? And that's how I was. That's how it was. That's how it was, okay? So I immediately ended up going to see some doctors. This is really, you know, shed some light on life in the healthcare system here in Nevada for me. The doctor isn't there to cure you, okay? The doctor is there to help you alleviate symptoms, to help manage you, okay? Not to cure you. So that was really a hard truth that I had to learn real fast when it came to healthcare, dealing with healthcare here in the US. I saw probably 8 to 10 doctors, okay? I couldn't get in to see the breast specialist. I couldn't get in to see the breast surgeon, any breast surgeon. The breast surgeon that I originally had seen, couldn't get in to see him. Everyone was making it so difficult to see a doctor because this was not cancer. It wasn't cancerous, so nobody would see me. Nobody would like take my pain seriously when I have this open flesh wound on my boob. At this point, guys, it's just like so many doctors had like just like checked it out and they're just like, oh, you need to go see a specialist. You need to go see the surgeon. You need to go see da-da-da. Did I follow everyone's instructions? Absolutely to a T. When it came to my health, at least in this facet, I gave a fuck. Like, it was something that was really important and nobody was making it as important as I was. And I thought, you guys, this is literally your job to help me. This is literally your job to not have me experience pain on my sex organ. This wound, it just got bigger and bigger, and then I ended up getting it on my other boob. And even then, I still couldn't get in to see a doctor. Transferred, referred, and just never got anywhere. No one gave me a solution to an open wound. Open wounds that were on my chest, that were underneath my breasts. So at this point, like, my boobs weren't even like a sexual part of me. It was just like this mechanical, just like these things that were on my chest. I was not supposed to cry in this video. Like, I don't know, like, this is a part of you that makes you feel like a woman. And I just didn't, like, sorry. I wasn't trying to ruin my makeup, but here we are, baby, here we are, like, ignore the tears. It's fine, guys, I'm fine. I genuinely am fine. Over the years, or, you know, over time, although the wound, it kept getting bigger, it finally just kind of like stopped as I lost weight. It kind of did start in 2020 when the pandemic did hit and we were kind of at home, and I was just tired of berating myself and I was tired of being unhappy with my body. And although this breast thing was going on, it kind of was just like kind of on the sideline because it was something I was dealing with throughout time. Like, it was ongoing, you know? So I just was tired of just like the aspect of constantly trying to diet and lose weight. And obviously with losing weight, since I gained weight in my breast first, then when I lose weight in my breast first. Since the skin was being pulled, then I needed to lose weight so that it wouldn't be being tugged. But that wasn't like on my mind. It was just like something I was like, okay, well, if I get smaller, then this probably won't be as big of an issue. I went to a wound specialist, right? Because I couldn't get in to see anybody about the breast stuff. So the wound specialist saw the opened wound and gave me like this thing that kind of dries it out so it stops opening, can kind of heal. Slowly over time, this flesh wound starts to heal up. The thing is, it kept scabbing over, the scab would pop off, and then boom, I'm back where I started. Months. And I wanna say probably 3 months ago is when I was just like, okay, cool, we're in the clear. Like, it's not gonna open up again. I'm good. There's nothing to worry about here. Can you imagine? Can you imagine having an open wound on your body for 2 years and no one's taking it seriously? On one of the most sensitive parts of your body. You know, it baffles me that no one was taking it seriously. And even if they were taking it seriously, like, there were so many nurses that were really trying to go above and beyond and get a hold of these doctors and really get me hooked up. I'm not sure if healthcare is like this everywhere, but here it was freaking trash. It's fine, I'm here. It was something that I had to end up handling on my own, and I did. And it freaking sucks that it's just like a harsh reality, but it's fine. It is what it is. So essentially, I won't lie, I haven't viewed my chest as kind of like this sexual, sensual, intimate part of myself for a very long time. You know what it's like to be a woman, you know? So just was really hard, but I made it out, and you know, now they're healed and I feel fine. There's not much pain. Sometimes I will get pain. It is just kind of like this like deep, nervy, whatever pain. It's just like internal. And I tried to explain this to the doctors, and I obviously, every single time I went to the doctor, I had things written down. I had things I had ready to say, and it just wasn't enough. You know, just keep that in mind, you know, as you move forward, just like so that you're not disappointed like I was. And I'm not trying to freaking cry throughout this whole damn video, but this is like a sensitive topic. I guess maybe that's why I've been avoiding it for so long, because damn guys, like, it just felt like, you know, like a right that I had to my body, you know, privilege that I had, it was just kind of stripped away. It's all coming back, you know, my perception, my mindset and all that has changed and grown and only matured, you know, as I got older. So my man's definitely helps, and he's very supportive. So yeah, your girl is fine. I know I got some tears, but don't even trip, boo. Like it's nothing, it's nothing. I am fine. But I feel like this is something that I did need to share. I think there's plenty of people, there's probably so many people out there that genuinely believe that going under the knife or, you know, making some drastic change to your body is going to change your perception of yourself or change the perception of your body, or even probably have a huge impact on your actions or how you decide to move forward, because you decided to either A, spend a bunch of money, 2, risk your life doing something, whatever. I feel like 1 and 2 is enough, right? You just think that that's gonna be enough to change your mindset and make some changes in your life for real, but you need more. You need a healthy mindset. You need a healthy body. You have to take care of yourself first. I can understand wanting to change, or something's just really bothering you and you have the means to change it. If you're not in the right headspace, if you don't like that thing so much and it's just like you have to change it, and you know that you already have issues prior, maybe you're not aware of the issues that you had prior. Maybe you're not aware of the food addiction that you have. You're not aware of the extent that food, the power that food has over you. And that's okay. Let this video be a reminder. Let this video be what you need to really sit back and have some self-introspection, to really talk to yourself and counsel yourself and think about, is this what I need? Or do I need to do this first? Or do I need to work on this first before I decide to make this really big decision that's gonna impact me? Not only is it gonna impact me just like for the rest of my life, but for this very near future moving forward. It's just like, take everything into account. Nothing is just willy-nilly. Going under the knife is a really, really, really big decision, because it's something that's going to impact your body forever. And there's like no way to avoid it. We stick anything in there, we have to get it removed, right? We go ahead and alter something, we have scarring there forever, right? It just is what it is, and it's just like something that you have to look at and deal with for like the rest of your life. I don't think that should be taken lightly. Please, please, please do yourself the favor of taking care of yourself and doing the right thing for yourself. There are so many outside pressures, so many outside influences. Even your friends and family have an impact on how you view yourself and the actions that you take. So please just like listen to yourself and do the right thing for yourself so you can have genuine happiness. Well, now that I've gotten through the video, I know why I was trying to avoid recording it, but I'm glad I was able to get through it, because not only was I able to really like just reflect and think about the way this has impacted me, but I was also able to learn some things about myself that I wasn't aware of before. But aside from that, these were only, I believe, $7 or $8 for every single box that's in there, which is really cool. So don't hesitate to check this out over there on the IKEA site, skubb, whatever the dang thing's called. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you on Thursday's video. Bye.